Wow. Okay. So, been trying to make this video for a long time and now I'm tired. But I'm going to try to get into it anyway. Maybe it'll be short. The idea behind this YouTube channel is this is something I do anyway, right? I'm constantly just staring at this chart, constantly trying to come up with ideas, trade setups, all this stuff. I'm spending so much time just sitting here analyzing this thing, mostly Bitcoin, but I do other stuff too. And I figure, why not put the ideas out there? Maybe I can help somebody out. I have been, working with some friends, doing some Zoom calls, and people seem to be getting something out of it. So I figure, there's a lot of people doing TA on YouTube. A lot of them I don't really like. But if I can, put ideas in somebody's head, every once in a while you just see a new perspective, right? Somebody has a new idea for what's happening, price action, maybe something you didn't think of, a new angle, whatever. And that can spark a new trade idea. And if I can help, that'd be great. And if I don't, then you don't have to stay here. I'm fine with that. I'm just like I said, I'm doing this anyway. So if nobody watches, that's okay. But if somebody does, that one person, Wisconsin, how are you? Then that's great. And maybe we can down the road engage. But my style is, well, I don't like to use any lagging indicators, right? I think there are too many people that want to rely on stuff that's already happened, price action in the past. And, sure, trend is your friend, but ultimately we want to know, if we were trading price that already happened, we would all be trading 100%. But that's not how it works. We're trading the future. We're trading probabilities of the future. And while the past does have some say and some overarching theme on what will happen in the future, I don't think we should base trades on past price action. If you look at the calculation of oscillators, RSI, stuff like that, it's all based on past price action. Just look at the way it's calculated. You're looking at price history. So I don't see why you want to base your trades on lagging indicators. Me personally. If it works for you, then fine. But if you just, that system can be gamed. If you have a trend and you have a big move and then a pullback and then another big move, there's always going to be divergence. And to me, that's not necessarily the smartest play, RSI divergence, especially with Bitcoin, because there are market makers and they want liquidity and they want your liquidity specifically. So try to think more like them than just using the plain old indicators that everybody starts with. So there's no easy way, right? I like to use lagging indicators. I certainly don't. I like to use leading indicators, like where might the price pivot, right? So the other thing about lagging indicators like RSI is, oh man, what was I about to say? I told you I'm tired. It took me so long to get the microphone hooked up to, it wasn't working. Now it's working and now I'm fried. So great way to start off the channel. Who cares? Let's be funny. What was I going to say? The other thing about RSI and lagging indicators is, maybe it'll come back to me. RSI, who knows? But what I like to do is, I do TA, look for important levels, trade level to level, and when price gets to those levels, then we look and see what happens. If there's a trade, great. If there's no trade, also great, because if there's no trade, you can't lose money, right? So it's all about having probabilities in your favor. If probabilities aren't in your favor, don't take a trade. I don't like to gamble. I think you should try to remove all the gambling if you can, as much of it as possible. I'm not a gambler. I'm not into it. When people say trading is gambling, it kind of makes me mad because it's not. But so I start, with a macro view. This is the daily chart on Bitcoin. Obviously, you can go more macro. I don't feel like it. So I've already got a lot on this chart. I feel like maybe I should have started fresh, but that's not what this is. Let's not necessarily start from scratch on this video. Let's take it from here. Let's try to come up with some ideas, see where we are. Because we're not at zero. We're at, what are we at? 42,535 on the Bybit chart, which is what I trade on. So that's what I do, my analyses on. And like I said, I just look for important levels. When price gets there, I'll take a trade maybe. Sometimes, I like to swing trade, though sometimes it can take a while for price to get where you want it. And yeah, you can get bored waiting around, so you look for scalp trades, and that's fine too. I personally prefer swing trades. You make more money, you have more time to react, all that stuff. My win rate's pretty high for swings. Scalps, helicopter. It's harder. And I'm not claiming to be the best trader in the world. Like I said, I'm just helicopter. Really. I'm just doing pretty well and trying to help people out and maybe engage. And that's a loud ass helicopter. Gee whiz. Yeah, hopefully, we can all get somewhere with this. If you don't like it, move on. That's cool. But let's see where we are. So I'm gonna actually turn everything off. So yeah, I use TradingView, and the only indicators I use are volume indicators. So I like VWAP or VWAP as a potential dynamic support and resistance line, and horizontals, and some speed fans and things like that. And then I also use Exo charts for order flow. So when price does get to a level that I'm looking for, a level that I find interesting, I'll look to Exo, I'll look to the order flow to see what's going on, see if there's a trade. And if there is, great. So I'm working on something right now. Let's see what we got. Sorry that I'm tired. But let's look at the daily. So obviously we had this move from the all-time high down to 28.3 or whatever it was, 28.6, and then been on an uptrend since the July 20th, pretty strong until we hit the 6.6 from the all-time high. So fib retracement all-time high to the lowest low after that point on June 22nd. We see that price rejected pretty handily from the 6.6. So that sort of reversed the trend. So we had this pretty strong uptrend. We got a high, low, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. Boom. Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high potentially, and this is not confirmed, but if we put in a lower low, then we're still in a downtrend on the daily chart. So and that would kind of characterize this whole piece as a downtrend, really, since April, and that all-time high, right? Because a retracement to 6.6 is pretty common, so you could picture something like this. Boom, retracement, and then a lower low in the macro sense. Not what I'm saying is going to happen. I'm just saying that is certainly a possibility. So that's kind of where we are. We're within this downtrend, and I personally am looking for lower. I'm in a short from 47-ish, so up in this area, I'm still in that short, and I have no reason to close it just yet. Like I said, we're still in this downtrend. From this pivot to down here, we saw another retracement. Kind of front ran the 618, but there was a daily at the time, the daily open, and yeah, we rejected pretty handily again. So that brings us to kind of where we are. So we got these I got my high time frame levels. Let me update it for you. So this is now officially a daily. And then we had price move down and reject off of support from this daily from a couple days ago, which was fresh at the time. So boom, got a nice bounce there. Up 5%, not bad. Like I said, I'm still in the short. I was asleep during this bounce, so I did not take a long. I'm still looking for a long. I am in a scalp long right now, but as I said, I'm still kind of expecting a little bit lower. So I do expect that to just be a scalp. And when you are getting into a trade, you kind of want to know what kind of trade it's going to be. Does it have potential to turn into a swing trade? Maybe. So you want to keep some open if you hit your target, or is it just a short-term trade? You're looking for lower, boom, hit your target, get out, get back in lower. So what are the levels that I'm looking at? Well, let's see what we have. What looks interesting? So as we've seen, this 618 to 66 retracement is very common, right? So if we take from the low, 28.6, all the way up to this past high, that big rejection a week or two ago, then we can see we're approaching this region down here again. So what I like to do is build a reason. So build probabilities. What else is there, right? So let's make a case. So another tool that I'm sure a lot of people use and that I like to use is the speed fan, right? So we have the Corona crash, March 2020, boom, up to the all-time high. Okay, interesting, right? We've got some confluence right in here, building a case for why this might be a strong level. What else do we got? Let's see. So let's look at volume for the year. So I'm taking this first low of 2021. I'm going to pull a fixed range. Interesting. So, yeah, I like that actually. So if you pull this fixed range from this first low pivot of the year 2021, we can see that this value area low comes in right there as well. And a lot of aircraft tonight. That comes in right here. So boom. Call that a value area low. And we don't have a high term time frame level, so I'm going to just take those off the chart for this moment. And if we kind of look at the year as a range, which I do like to break the chart into ranges as much as possible, then we can kind of see how we've been just kind of ranging for the year. Up to the top of the value area, back down. Now we're back in. Didn't quite reach the point of control because we had that huge resistance there at the 6.6. So where might we be looking for another reversal? Well, this becomes pretty compelling, in my opinion, right? Let's see if we might have anything else there. So I'm liking this spot, right? Oh yeah, I do remember one other thing that I think falls right in there. So market geometry, if you're a geometrist, like I like to be, if you look at this big pitchfork from the all-time high to that same pivot low to this recent pivot high, well, the midpoint, which we know acts as support resistance, is right through there as well. So to me, this is an interesting level. Okay. I'm going to be looking at that. Technically, the cross of these two lines, the midpoint of the pitchfork and the 618 speed fan, is on October 3rd. We'll see what happens. This is the daily chart. We definitely will have some time to react. This is not just going to be a boom, boom, right? If that even happens at all, it's gonna be there for a while. So hopefully we'll have some actual. Oops, I hate that. Hopefully we'll actually have a reason to enter a trade if there is one. So, this is a little bit of an overview. of what I'm looking for at the moment. First video I'm making. And then I did enter, like I said, a scalp long. Let's see how we're doing there. Get my levels back on. So like we saw earlier, we did have this really nice bounce off this fresh daily, and we're still in this local uptrend from that point last night where I said I was asleep. I do have a long position open, or I thought I did. What's this one? So why did I enter this long? Okay. Like I said, just a scalp long. Doing okay. It's in profit, and that's all we care about. So we had this fixed range pull from this pivot low off that daily to the high that came after. And what else did we have? I pulled a fixed range here. So this was the reason why I thought that level was a little bit compelling. Normally, I don't want to trade off a 382 retracement. It's a little shallow, but adding that point of control in there will give you a little bit more confidence in a trade. So I'm looking to trade that up to, okay, there are my things. So hopefully looking to trade that up to yesterday's value area high, which also happens to be quite close to our favorite, as we're seeing that 61866 region from the recent drop and then back up. So this would be an area of resistance for me. And you know, this is a 2.5% trade, scalp trade, short-term trade. The other reason I entered it is because I saw what looked like pretty big bullish divergence heading down to the point of control, so support, right? So let's see if I can find it. Right, so candles were making higher lows, right? All the way from back here when it bounced off that daily, boom, low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low. And this is still ultimately higher and still didn't invalidate the uptrend, even though it was a little bit lower. There was some heavy shorting going on, which actually adds to my reasoning for taking that long scalp, because if you look, take this low for instance, or rather this low and this low. This is still a higher low, but if you're looking at CVD, this is a lower low, which means that people are shorting pretty heavily. They're shorting support, which is never smart, right? And you're seeing an increase in open interest. You're seeing a lot of shorts open up. That's support. And support is a region, support is a place, a zone where a lot of limit buys are going to be living, you would expect. You never want to short support, right? So you can see a lot of shorts just trapped at the bottom. Millions and millions of contracts opening on a move down, which is not a smart thing to do. And you can see prices already above those. All those shorts are trapped. So this is a nice setup for a short squeeze and back up. So that information combined with this 382 right on top of the point of control of this little range since the drop was enough for me to take a trade. Small trade, and so far so good. I did make my stop loss a little bit wide because, you got this golden pocket 61866 region down here, and can always find support down there before heading back up. So I did keep a bit of a wide stop loss. We are in a more macro downtrend. Like I said, I do expect lower. So I do want to favor shorts in general. So I'll be pretty protective of this. I might move stop loss into break even pretty soon, or even take some profit off the table, so that we don't have to worry about it. Because, yeah, like I said, I do expect a rejection. Well, I don't expect it, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get a rejection and a little bit lower. I just think that's going to be a stronger region of support, and more likely a region that people are going to want to defend. So, yeah, that's my plan for the moment. And I just want to keep this one short and sweet. Hopefully there'll be some live streams, mostly live streams. I mean, I just set up this YouTube account, and they don't let me live stream for a full 24 hours. So I figured I'll just put up a video, what I'm doing right now, what I'm looking at, what I'm involved in, what my plan is. Yeah. Hope that all makes sense. Feel free to subscribe, and hopefully we can do some live streaming and see how this trade went, and see where we're at. All right. Enjoy. Good to see you. Thank you.